All right, everyone, if you came over from the short showing that we got this multi-process welder and cart from Harbor Freight, thanks a lot. If you're just tuning in now, click the link above just to get some information, but we're gonna get these things together. There's plenty of videos on YouTube on assembly, so we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna use the magic of video editing and go ahead and show the cart now. All right, there it is, we got it together. It's not too bad. You have to put the lower casters on and the little plate that holds the bottom back fixed casters where the tanks would sit. All you really need is a small adjustable wrench and a Phillips head screwdriver. That is really it to assemble this thing. Probably 30 minutes if you don't know what you're doing. It's very easy. So first impressions, it's sturdy. It's very heavy. It's gonna take probably 2 people to lift it, move it around. You wanna have a piece of cardboard on the ground when you're building it and putting the wheels on. Put this side up. So the side with the door is gonna be laying on basically this side before you put the handles and hooks on. And that way you can get the casters and everything on, and you can flip it over, and working when it's sitting upright is much easier. Says it holds, what, 500 pounds or so? Forgot how much. I think it's like a 500 pound rating or something. But it's definitely sturdy. The drawers lock in. So this top drawer is a consumable drawer. It has a metal tray in there. This is, I guess you can remove it. We didn't try. But the drawers, they push and lock in really hard, the ball bearings. And keeps everything in there when you're moving this cart around. The bottom drawer here, these 2 drawers are exactly the same. They're just empty drawers, kind of about as deep as your hand would be. This is like a file cabinet drawer where you can store other things. And then you have a drawer in here, well, a space in here where you can adjust the shelves on all these little brackets that are in there. So these shelves just rest on there. You can move them around. Then it's got some cubbies for some more consumables. Closes pretty well. The casters are very good. They're decent. The only thing we don't like is these plastic stoppers. Those are plastic. Not sure if that's going to be a weak point on it, but it holds well. It does not move. So we'll get it spun around so you can see the other side. All right, we are looking at the back side here. And this is going to tell you your weights. So the top shelf is 160 pounds. Drawer A, which is the consumable drawer, is 40 pounds. The 2 drawers under that are 80 pounds each. Helmet cabinet is 40 pounds. 2 9-inch cylinders. So, goes together well. No issues at all. Rod holders. So those will hold all your filling rods and stuff. Where the tanks go. Everything's solid and sturdy. It's a nice little rubberized handle here. Again, more hooks. So we'll get the welder set up on here and spread out everything the welder came with and see if we can't get to welding right now. All right, there it is, sitting on top of the cart with all the accessories that come in the box with the welder. So one thing we didn't note before, there was a little dent in the top here that we had to straighten out and fix. And you can see some of the weld marks in the door and everything to catch the light properly. So there are imperfections in the paint and also on the paint up here. Let's see if we can find it. Right there. Some like overspray or some running when they dipped it maybe. Because it looks like this thing was probably dipped or sprayed with a lot of different angles. But no big deal. Again, for the price, it's all right. You can get away with it. But you get your grounding rod or your grounding clamp here, and this one has a copper strap that goes around to both sides there, which is pretty good. You've got your 110 or 120 voltage, whatever it is, and your 230, 220. You got your MIG gun. Got a gas line. We got some consumables here with an extra wheel, a sheet metal gauge, and they give you an argon and CO regulator. So that's it. In the old videos of this, well, a couple years ago, people were saying that it came with spools of wire, but this did not. So we're gonna get everything put away and hung up on the cart so we can see how it looks. All right, we got it set up and hooked up for flux with no gas, because obviously this does not come with any gas cylinders or anything, so you can only do flux if it still included the wire. So that's one thing. Straight out of the box, this whole package, you're gonna be out almost $1,500, you know, somewhere around there, depending on your area and depending if you have a coupon, and you will not be able to weld. We had some flux wire, but it's 0.035. This only comes with 0.030 tips, and it only comes with 2 of them in the little consumable drawer here. So everything fits nice in there, but let's see. Yeah, that's probably not going to focus. There it is. Anyways, as you can kind of see there, you get 2 030 tips and an extra gas shield. You get a wheel that can go from 025 to 045, I think. So you get two separate wheels. So yeah, we're not doing anything with the welding today, unfortunately. So right here, you're going to need your PPE. You're gonna need some type of wire, at least some tips, and the welding cart. So they do tell you in this little manual here, I guess, that you need all that. This is additional stuff for spool gun and the TIG torch. You got to buy separately. There's your setup. We'll look inside the machine here. All right, inside the cover of the machine, it basically tells you everything you need to know to set the machine up, as well as a screen walking you through it. So there's multiple prompts on how to run this thing without the user manual. So we've got it hooked up again, like we said, for flux, but we're not going to run anything because we don't have the proper flux. So that'll be another video of all the consumables you need to get so we can total this thing out to get welding, I guess. But yeah, everything hangs nice. Everything looks good. This is the CO02 argon regulator. It's decent quality. If you look online, people talk about it. Some people say get a better one, but for the home hobbyist, it's probably going to be more than enough if you're not doing any type of crazy industrial work with this. But yeah, we'll pop this thing on and see how it looks. All right, we're going to flip it on. And we've also heard about people, if you half push this thing or don't firmly push it. So we're just going to squarely and firmly push it in. And we're running this off of our solar power, so hopefully it works. All right, powered right up. Has a startup fan to keep it cool. It should shut off in a second, so we're not going to play with it till it shuts off. There it is. All right, on the screen here, you got some knobs. These ones don't do anything. At this screen, these do nothing. Only your center knob. So if you see here, we got MIG steel C25, MIG steel C100, flux cord, MIG stainless, manual. You got a spool gun for aluminum, 2 types, stick welding, TIG welding, and your settings. So units, metric and English, brightness. You can increase the brightness or decrease it. So we'll just leave it in the middle where it was. Information and factory reset. So you can hit home or back from here and it'll go back. We'll go to flux core, we'll hit it. So no gas required, and it's showing you how to hook up your cabling. So if you come straight down, if you see, we have this negative right here hooked up into negative, and we have the actual grounding clamp that'll go on your piece here hooked into the positive, which is down there. And it tells you on the card, it's the same setup for MIG when you have gas, except these two will be swapped. So that's really all we can do. Unfortunately, it did not come with everything, and the store's already closed. Overall, we think it's going to be a good deal. So stay tuned. The next video will be about all the consumables that you have to get. Helmet, maybe a welding jacket, some gloves, because you can gotten burned many times by welds. So it's good to have all the PPE. So that's going to be another expense you're going to have to look into with this thing. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.